That when Jesus came to earth, he came to die for all our sins.
Porque todos, por naturaleza, sabemos que existe un Dios.
Son? Yes. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. If I start getting up there accidentally because I start moving around, just give me the signal and I'll move back. I sometimes move around a bit. Or if for some reason it's getting difficult. Oh yeah, that might help. Okay. Just let me know. I'll try and be aware, but feel free to let me know. So, it's God, in God's providence, He's got us talking about a topic that's rather on people's minds today, and that is the topic of work. Because there have been many job losses and businesses closed down, and some people wonder if they're going to have work or continue with work, and so that's on our minds a lot. And we're going to be looking, finishing up 2 Thessalonians. So in the next 2 weeks, so this week we're going to be talking about getting to work, and next week we're going to be talking about begin with the end in mind. So next week, Paul in 1 and 2 Thessalonians, he more than seemingly any other letters he wrote, he was kind of obsessed with the end times and what's going to happen. And people have a lot of different interpretations of what's going to happen. If you want to hear the correct one, listen to me next week. I'm just kidding. We are trying to interpret what it says there. So next week it's begin with the end in line, because Paul talks about in 1 and 2 Thessalonians about the end times and some things that you can look forward to. But today we're talking about the topic of work, and that's found in 2 Thessalonians chapter 3. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3. And
what happened?
Some people might question, why should we talk about work? Because work is something you do out there, and church and spiritual things are something that you do in here. There's work and there's church, so why talk about work? But the truth is that work is an integral part of being a Christian. And we also should talk about work because it takes a rather prominent place in our life. It's estimated that the average person during their lifetime works 90,000 hours. 90,000 hours. And that's not to mention the fact that the travel time for here in this area, that's a big issue also. So traveling to and from work and working at work and then thinking and worrying about work. Right? Not only that, but preparing for work by going to college so that you can be doing something that you're good at. All of that shows us that work is a huge part of our life, but it's not a secular part of our life. It has something to do with God. As a matter of fact, in the book of Genesis, before the fall of man even, in Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 and verse 28, here's what it says. And God said, let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let him have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. So do you think that man can have dominion over anything without doing something? No. It requires work. It goes on in verse 28 to say this. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over it. Subdue it. Now, I know even in this place here, that if you let it go for a few weeks, it needs to be subdued again. Because the earth tends to take over. And so God said, subdue it. And as a matter of fact, He gave us creation to understand, to explore, and we've been doing that since creation. We've been looking around us at what God has given us. And at first, the job of Adam and Eve was taking care of the garden, right? But do you think there was any new jobs invented when the chariot was invented? What kind of jobs might you need then? Somebody needs to take care of the wheels. I don't know if they have flat tires or broken tires, right? But wheel straightener, right? As people began to subdue the earth and discover God's secrets that He has hidden away for us to find more and more jobs. I mean, I don't think anybody's back in that time would guess the kind of jobs we have today. And yet it's part of understanding and appreciating appreciating God's creation and what He's done, and it gives us something to do that can be helpful and meaningful for mankind. And as well as it provides us a living. And so work is connected with God, and our work and the way we work is connected with God. And so with that in mind, let's look at 2 Thessalonians.
To present us faultless before the presence of His glory
Ante la presencia de Dios
with exceeding joy.
con un gozo grande.
To the only wise God,
El único Dios sabio,
our Savior,
nuestro Salvador,
be glory, majesty, dominion, and power.